Hi, this is Nodes Complexity Amongst Simplicity by CWelker, and the focus of my work as I was creating my wire hand and bounding box was the examination of the complexity within the nodes of each element and how the simplicity of the frames helped emphasize that. Throughout the project, I was investigating these 5 themes and analyzing their role within the work that I had created. As I was determining an original theme for my project, I decided to look at the complexity in making different signs, and specifically letters in sign language. While there are a variety of gestures and signs that we make every day with our hands, I believe that that sign language does the best in showing how complex and meaningful these signs can be. When making the wire hand, I chose to use the sign language letter P because I felt that it contorted the hand in a really interesting way. And originally I was wanting to use the wire to emphasize basic form, but after making the hand, I noticed that I had created a concentration of wire within the nodes of the hand, which led me to focus more on that instead. It ended up being a bit difficult to see the sign that I had created, but the main idea was to see the contrast between the nodes and the rest of the hand. This contrast became even more apparent as I shined a light on the wire hand because the light created a thinner shadow around the frame and then a larger dark shadow around the nodes. With the creation of my bounding box, I focused detail within the nodes of the box like I did with the hand, and tried to create a more simplistic look around the frame to help emphasize the nodes even more. As you can see with the GIF, each addition was done in a pair or group to help keep that idea of simplicity that I had started when making the frame. I also wanted to use different views of the box to express the contrast even further. So with this model, I left the front view to be the most simplistic and have the side view show more of the complexity within the nodes and everything going on behind the scenes. Before adding the cladding, I referred back to the regulating lines that I had created for my hand so that I could get a better understanding of the important features and get a better idea about where I wanted to place the holes in the cladding and the size that I wanted them to be. So I decided to place the holes specifically around the nodes and complex features of the hand to allow the viewer to only be able to see those pieces and allow light and shadow to create a basic understanding for the rest of the hand. In these section views, you can really see the complexity in a different way and how the holes in cladding highlighted those areas in the wire hand. And when creating the site and pedestal for my box, I was able to rethink how I wanted my box to be viewed and revisit the important themes. And I ended up placing the box in the corner at eye level so that the view of it could be controlled and the viewer was able to see directly through the cladding and onto the nodes. With the final Rhino model, I added a few pieces to the nodes of the box and placed some larger strips across the front to create a bit more interest for the model. And I felt that these additions help keep the idea of contrasting the frame and nodes while still being visually appealing. However, as I was making the physical model, I decided to leave the front as it was previously and get rid of those longer strips in order to keep that original idea of having simplicity around the rest of the box and complexity within the nodes. And so this can be seen in this image of the front view of my box. And then this shows the final model in perspective view to give the best view of the complexity within the nodes and the simplicity around the rest of the frame, which helped emphasize the nodes even more. So thank you for your time.